Welcome back, dear students. We are discussing a new chapter that is current and electricity. And during this chapter, today we are going to start some of the most important topic that is Ohm's law. And in this law, we will go through the statement of the Ohm's law, mathematics of the Ohm's law, and types of materials, and also about the resistance. So here we start. Explain and trade and explain Ohm's law. So Ohm's law discuss its scope and validity. This is a statement of the Ohm's law. Electric current passing through a conductor is directly proportional to the potential difference between the ends of conductor if physical condition of conductor remains constant. So it is the most important point to note that you are not supposed to change the physical state, physical condition. So physical condition of the conductors you have to keep a constant. Physical conditions of the conductor. We will discuss in detail what it means. So here is the mathematics. It means you increase the potential, the current will also increase with the increase of the potential. So while keeping the temperature of the conductor or the physical state of the conductor constant. So this is the most fundamental and basic law to understand the flowing of current through the conductor and the potential across the ends of the conductor during the time when the current is passing. And also we will study about the dependence of resistance, dependence of current on resistance when it is passing through a conductor. When the resistance will be more, what will happen? When the resistance is less, what will happen? And what's the concept of the resistance in case of the current? So here it is. We have placed a constant in place of proportionality sign, and here it is I is equal to kV, and K is basically constant. It is called conductance of the conductor, and V, that is V is equal to IR, means R the resistance of the conductor. If we keep the resistance of the conductor constant, then this relation of current directly proportional to the potential is applicable. And we will see there are three parameters used in case of Ohm's law. Number one is potential, number two is current, and number three is resistance. If you keep the resistance constant, resistance of a conductor, if you keep the resistance of a conductor constant, means you're not increasing or decreasing the temperature, you're not changing the physical state of the conductor, then more the potential you apply, more the amount of current will be passing through the conductor. So this is the basic statement of Ohm's law. More the current, more will be the potential. Mean more potential you have applied, more the current you will be getting across the ends of a conductor. So mathematically it is V is equal to IR. This is the formula where sometimes you are asked such amount of current is passing through a such resistance, value of the resistance, calculate the potential across the resistance. You will use this formula to calculate the potential. And at the same time, you will be given that after applying such amount of the potential, such amount of current passes through the resistance, find out the value of the resistance. So third one may be changed, that is the value of the resistance is such given, and you are asked the potential across the resistance is this one. Calculate the current passing through the resistance, that is I. You will be able to calculate the current. Means in case of potential I, current and resistance are two values are known, then you can calculate the third one, and it is possible by using Ohm's law. So here it is. Dependence resistance is measured in Ohm, and the nature, it depends upon nature of the conductor, dimensions, and physical state of the conductor. These are the three factors on which the resistance of a conductor depends. So conductor may be ohmic conductors and non-ohmic, and we will see with the help of graph what the ohmic conductors are and what the non-ohmic are. After looking at the shape of the graph, we will be able to decide this graph is only for ohmic type of the devices of conductors, and we will see uh, the graph and which type of the shape of the graph is, and we will decide it is only for non-ohmic type of the conductors. So ohmic conductors are those which obey the Ohm's law after the time when the current is passing, at the time when the current passes to the conductor. Non-ohmic are the types of the conductors which do not obey Ohm's law, and we will see in detail during the next slides. So here is the graphical presentation. If you look at, on x-axis we are taking potential, and on y-axis we are taking current, and after drawing current we are getting a straight line, means this is the limit of Ohm's law. If you get the straight line between potential I and V and I, so this shows that this is basically ohmic type of the substance, and this is linked with the Ohm law. So at any point, if you take the slope, and after getting the values from the slope, if you put the values, you will be getting tangent theta, that is I over V. So for a conductors that obey Ohm's law, graph of current I as a function of voltage V is straight line through graph is straight line through the origin, as shown in the slope of the line is slope we have calculated. As R is constant, hence the slope is constant for the ohmic type of the conductor. So here it is constant for ohmic type of the conductor because it's a straight line starting from origin and moving in between V and I. So what are the non-ohmic type of the conductors? Limitations, because you can't apply Ohm's law in case of non-ohmic types of the conductor. Those materials which have the slope I versus V graph is not constant, it is called non-ohmic. And how IV graph of a filament bulb, this is basically non-ohmic. Why? Because at the time the bulb starts glowing, its temperature is low, but with the passage of time, with increasing time, you will see that the bulb becomes hot, a filament. This is another example. And also there are a number of other examples where the temperature of a conductor increases with the passage of time. So that's why the graph is not a straight line. If you look at, here it is. This is a straight line. This is the ohmic type of the substance. It is between V and I, current and potential. You will see the graph is a straight line between the two. These types of the substances will be called ohmic type of the substances. But in case of non-ohmic or filament, if you look at, this is non-ohmic voltage and its current, the graph is not a straight line. It reduces, the current value of the current reduces with the passage of the current time. More the potential you are applying, but less is the value of the current which you are getting at the end, because temperature is not constant, because the physical state of the conductor is not constant, which is the most required. So here is another triangle between V, I and R. So if you are asked to calculate potential at that time, V is equal to IR. This is the basic formula which is used to calculate. If two of them values are given, you can calculate the third one. Either V and I, or V and R, or I and R, you can calculate the other one, third one. So this is the most important thing to understand. Look at the shape of the graph. If the graph is a straight line, then it's the ohmic type of the substance. If the graph is not a straight line, then it is non-ohmic type of the graph. So here is another wheel diagram where you can understand how the voltage is calculated, how the resistance is calculated, how the current across the conductor is calculated, how the power is calculated. These are the four quantities, and if you note it down, these are the most valuable and most basic quantities are the formulas which can be used to calculate the potential voltage or the potential. This is another formula, general type of the formula, where by using this you will calculate, you will use at different stages to calculate the resistance of a conductor. And this is another important formula where you can calculate the current if you are given potential and resistance, power and potential, and power and resistance. So these are some of the important formulas which you can use to calculate the current if these values are given. If you look at the other side, here it is power, potential and resistance is given, current and resistance is given, potential and current is given, IV. So you can calculate power by using these techniques. So E is basically, so if you look at this formula, this figure, you will come to know that it's more easier to calculate such types of the physical quantities after going through Ohm's law. So here it is. Corresponding small change in the current at larger value of the potential, the slope decreases with the increase of the voltage, which we have already, here it is. IV, current versus potential, graph of a thermistor. IV graph of a thermistor bends upward shows that the resistance decreases sharply as the temperature rises. So this is another example where with the increase of the temperature, the resistance of the substance is decreasing. So that's why its current will increase with the decrease of the resistance, and the graph will move in upward direction, bend in upward. So this is one of the substance where with the increase of the temperature, the resistance of the substance is decreasing. So the amount of current is increasing. This is the example of a thermistor. So another example is semiconductor diode. Of course, its resistance will decrease with the increase of the temperature, and we will go in detail during our next classes. IV graph of a semiconductor diode shows that it is non-linear graph because why? Because it is curved, it is bend, it is bending. The current passes when the voltage is applied, and one direction, but it is almost zero when it acts in opposite direction. So here we are, ohmic type of the substances and non-ohmic type of the substances. This is the difference between the two. Ohmic substances obey Ohm's law. Non-ohmic substances do not obey Ohm's law. The graph between V and I substance is a straight line, a linear, but in case of non-ohmic, it's a curve. Slope of graph remains the same at all the points. Slope of the graph is at not same at all the points. So examples are pure metals are ohmic. And in case of non-ohmic, this is tungsten filament where the temperature is increasing. Semiconductor diode, these are some of the examples which are included in non-ohmic type of the substances. So where you can't apply the Ohm's law, where the graph is not a straight line, where the slope is not giving the same value at the same all the different points. So here is the concept of the resistance. What the resistance? So resistance is represented by this sign. It is called ohm. So the opposition offered by a material to flow the current is called resistance. So it is denoted by R. Resistance opposes the flow of the current through the conductor. The opposition occurs when because the atoms and the molecules of the substance hinder the flow of these electrons. They are trying to stop with different types of the oppositions, with the force repulsions, with the imperfection in the solids construction, and there are different number of the reasons due to which the electrons moving from one end to another end slow down. When slowing down of the electron is basically increasing the resistance of the conductor. Certain substances like metal and silver and copper, aluminum offer very little opposition to the flow of the electron. So the resistance causes production of heat. This is the cause of the resistance. So heat rises due to the resistance of the conductor. Moving electrons collide. This is the most important thing to understand about the concept of the resistance. Moving electron collides with the atoms or the molecules of the substance. Each collision results in the liberation of minute quantity of heat. The heat increases molecular or atomic vibration, which results in increase in the resistance. More is the vibration of the atoms of the solid or the conductor, more will be the resistance because the electrons will collide with the moving or the vibrating atoms of the molecules of the solid. So that's why they will slow down. And with the passage of time, as they slow down, the more will be the resistance, more will be the slowdown of the moving electrons. SI unit of the resistance is ohm and is represented by a sign ohm omega. This one is basically this is called omega, and it is ohm. Meter is defined as the resistance of a conductor will be 1 ohm if a potential difference of 1 volt across the ends of a conductor causes an ampere 1 ampere current through the look at V that is equal to IR. So here it is IR resistance that is R. If you look at the R, this R is equal to V divided by I. V divided by I. It means that more the value of the potential. If 1 volt potential is applied across the ends of a conductor and it causes a current of 1 ampere, then the resistance will be 1 ohm. Resistance offered by the conductor will be 1 ohm. So this is the most easier thing to understand. 1 volt potential difference applied across the ends of a conductor and 1 ampere current passes through the conductor, then at that time the resistance suffered by the conductor will be 1 ohm. So if you are asked to find out the unit of the resistance, so here it is, sign is omega and it is represented like this one, and it is defined as when you apply the potential of 1 volt across the ends of a conductor, you will be getting 1 ampere current passing through the conductor. At that time the resistance of the conductor will be 1 ohm. So here it is, the resistance is measured in ohm. It depends on the nature of the conductor, dimensions of the conductor, the physical state of the conductor. The conductor may be ohmic or non-ohmic. Graphical representation of a conductor obeys Ohm's law, we have already discussed. So, on what the factors it depends, the resistance of a conductor is directly proportional to the length of the conductor. More is the length of a conductor, more will be the resistance. Less is the length of conductor, less will be the resistance. Area of cross section, directly proportional, inversely proportional to the area of the cross section. More is the area of cross section of a conductor, less will be the resistance offered. So if you combine these two, you will be getting this is directly proportional to length and it is inversely proportional to area of the conductor, and when you will combine these two, that will be equal to, that is R will be equal to length divided by A, and here we will take a constant which is called the resistivity of the substance, constant of proportionality, and it is equal to R is equal to rho L over A. So fixed length resistance of a conductor is inversely proportional to the area of cross section. Thicker wire have less resistance and less energy loss. So here it is R directly inversely proportional to area. Combining these two, where rho is the resistivity of the material and a specific resistance. The resistance also depends upon the nature of the material. Also, for conductor resistance is directly proportional to the temperature, and this is the most important topic. Above we have discussed resistance directly proportional to length. More is the resistance, more will be the length. Length is more, resistance will be more. Area of cross section, less is the area of cross section, less will be the resistance. More area of cross section, more will be the resistance, because energy loss will be more. So here less is the energy loss, more less will be the resistance. If you look at this point, if you look at the thicker wire have less resistance per meter and will cause less energy to be lost as heat. So that's why it is inversely proportional. If you look at the next one, on what the factor on how the resistance of a conductor increases, this is the most important topic or the most important point to understand effect of temperature on the resistance, and sometimes you are asked to explain why the resistance of the conductors increases by the increase of the temperature. But in case of semiconductor, the resistance of semiconductor decreases with the increase of temperature. So this is the reverse type of attitude or the behavior between the two types of the substances. So the resistance of a material changes with the increase in temperature. The effect of temperature upon resistance varies according to the type of material. The resistance of a pure metal, for example, copper and aluminum, this one is aluminum, increases with the increase in temperature. The change in resistance is fairly regular for normal range of temperature. The resistance of electrolytes, some insulators, glass, mica, rubber, and semiconductor, germanium, silicon, decreases with the increase of the temperature. Hence, current is small. When the current is small, the increase in the temperature is very small, and the changes in the resistance is negligible. When the current is increased, the resistance of the filament continues to increase due to rise in temperature. And what happens? Let's understand this phenomenon. Why the increase of the temperature increases the resistance of a conductor. With the increase of the temperature, if you increase temperature, the vibration of molecules increases, and with increase in vibration of the molecule or the atoms, the collision of the electron with the vibrating atom or the molecule increases. As a result, they slow down, and slowing down of the electrons is basically an indication of increase of the resistance. So that's why in case of conductors, if you increase the resistance, it will increase the vibration of the atoms of the molecules of the solids of metal. As a result, the electron will collide. Collision is increased, means the electrons are slowing down. And this slowing down of the electron results in increase in the resistance of the conductor. So that's why the increase of the resistance of the conductor, increase in the temperature of the conductor, the resistance increases. This is the most important thing to understand. With this, I thank you very much for your interest, and I hope you people have understood the basic concept of the topic.